and welcome to our playthrough of Icewind Dale Rime the Frostmaiden.
Yay!
Yay! I wanted to do a couple things. I wanted to first of all thank. Whoa! Okay.
That was random. Sorry.
Just echoing. Sorry. Okay. That's how it always goes. I wanted to thank the Art of Jen for all the wonderful artwork of our characters on screen. You can see Dearaen and Mordin, and Tok and Sho Val are going to be coming up very soon.
Oh, we even got Kibbles there.
And we even have Kibbles.
Aww.
But Kibbles is from the book artwork.
Nonetheless, he's adorable.
Anyways, and I also wanted to credit Tailspire, which is the map-making visual that you see on screen, because they have made a very nice program for playing D&D, and it is coming out on April 14th, 2021.
Yeah.
If you decide to get it yourself. And let's get into it. We're going to start off by introducing our players. We have Devin as Dearaen Tul'kir. Take it away.
Yes, Dearaen Tul'kir. I am the red tiefling that you see on the screen. Bard extraordinaire. Or rather, just traveling bard. So, yeah, whatever.
Okay, we have Peter as Sho Val.
Yes, Sho Val, a rather silent human knight with a bucket helmet. As a bit of a background, but good into it.
We have Alan as Tok Wolfgang.
Yes, I'm Tok Wolfgang, the quiet fighter of the group, a ex-soldier who now turned a mercenary, and also a half-orc.
Okay, and last of our players, we have Joey as Mordin Solus.
Yep, just your atypical devilish rogue with piercing golden eyes.
Wait, you're a rogue?
Wow.
Just roguish attributes.
Yeah, I know.
Roguish attributes, but he's actually a ranger.
A penchant for hunting.
Very good at hunting.
And that leaves us off with me as your DM.
Yeah.
And to recap all the various events of our past two arcs, and to make up for the fact that we also lost the audio for a couple episodes.
The horror!
The pain. Anyways, we make our way north to the we make our way to the frozen north of the Forgotten Realms to a small settlement named Ten Towns, the Frostmaiden by the name of Oral. A lesser deity of winter has taken up residence in the area, causing a perpetual age of ice and snow, casting a spell of darkness and nighttime, blotting out the sun, replacing it with an aurora. The long winter, lasting multiple years, has caused chaos and a shift among the people of Ten Towns, with each trying to make use of slowly dwindling limited resources, eventually making offerings to Auril to appease her, offerings of food and drink, warmth, and even to the point of creating lotteries for human sacrifices. Our adventurers, a makeshift ragtag band of misfits, find their way to Bryn Shander. Boop. A large fortified town of trade and artisanry, and one of the larger towns within 10 towns, escaping their pasts or seeking fame and fortune. Mordin Solus, a suave tiefling ranger, Sho Val, a tongueless knight wielding a shovel, Tok Wolfgang, a half-orc with a history of martial arts, and Dearaen Tul'kir, a tiefling bard seeking new tales. In the first length of their journey, some dwarves had tasked them with finding and returning a sled full of iron ingots that was abandoned during a storm after a Yeti attack. During the venture out into the wilderness, a blizzard slowed their progress, and Sho Val quickly made a small quincy out of packed snow with his trusty shovel that helped secure him and his companions against the weather. The crew then continued on, stumbling upon the body of the dwarf's companion, and found a sled of iron ingots that had been stolen. Had been stolen by a caravan of goblins, which they quickly tracked and dispatched, releasing the captive polar bears the goblins were using to pull their wagon. They returned to Bryn Shander to find that in their absence, a glassblower had been murdered with an ice dagger shoved in his chest. Some investigation led them to Hlyn, a former bounty hunter. Her intuition led them to track a man by the name of Sevik Caltro, a seemingly mysterious traveler hired by Torga Icevein as a bodyguard for her merchant caravan. Upon investigating, Dearaen, Mordin, Tok, and Sho Val determined his route would lead them through Goodmead towards Dugan's Hole, determined to capture the assumed murderer they chased after him. A jaunt later into Goodmead, and they find more trouble. A Verbeege had stolen the town's shipment of various supplies that they used to brew the town's main export of mead. The local guard offered to put in a good word at the tavern to allow them to get free food and lodging and drink for a while if they could return the stolen goods. An encounter with a local trapper gave them directions to the Verbeege's last known location, and a train for a small snow fox, which Dearaen bought and the crew lovingly named Kibbles. Kibbles! On the path there, they had found a grisly sight of the remains of a small caravan, and later a visit with a small being known as a Chewinga. This journey led them to the lair of the giant kin, where they confronted the Verbeege head-on in combat. An unexpected ogre joined the fray, creating a few close calls, but the crew gained the upper hand and slew both of them, with the bard playing a Michael Jackson to viciously mock the Verbeege to death.
Spin around, crotch grab, and woo! Sorry. Pretty much.
Investigating the lair, Dearaen came across the tomb of a powerful war mage and a tribal chieftain, one who had led her people across the northern expanse to create a new settlement. With the combined effort of everyone, they lifted the casket's lid and found a wand and orb among the chieftain's remains. Dearaen snatched them for himself as the only main spellcaster of the group, and observing the rest of the tunnels in the lair, they found a small pool of ice-covered water with a statue of the nature deity Sylvanus. Mordin corrals the crew into packing up the missing brewing supplies and to make haste back to Goodmead. Upon returning, they find that the former town speaker was among the caravan, and the town is having to decide quite rapidly who would be the next leader. Two choices have stood out: a cask-maker human woman by the name Olivessa, who is reluctant to take the position, but has renown amongst the townsfolk due to her deep roots in living in Goodmead since the town's founding, and is an example of tradition. The other being Shandar Froth, a dwarf logger that appears brazen and brash, but has some expansive ideas on how to bring about a better economy to Goodmead. Olivessa's friends think that Shandar is a bit shady, but as a countermeasure, Mordin had thought of having the two work together as a council, and spread that idea to some of the townsfolk of the area. Meanwhile, Dearaen has been plagued with multiple nightmares of past lovers and horrifying visages of people dying in front of him, eventually coming to the conclusion in his exhaustion that he was cursed. He convinces the rest of the group to quickly return to the former verbiage layer and tomb to see if there were any depictions of curses or remedies. Unfortunately, the tomb did not contain any clues in that regard, but a reminder of Sylvanas' restorative lore gives the thought that maybe the pool could alleviate the curse if it contained any magical properties. Sho Val cracked into the pool with his shovel and allowed them to drink of its waters, and Dearaen felt a weight come off of his shoulders. But still exhausted, they decided to take a short rest, only to be met with the last of the remaining denizens of the cave. A cave bear. Quickly dispatched, Tok carved out a pelt and meat, planning on having a tanner in good mead to make a pelt with a nice article of clothing, and sell off the meat. Our adventurers then make their way to Dugan's Hole in their search for Sefik Cultro, hoping to intercept him, but instead were intercepted by 2 winter wolves, Corin and Kanan. Kanan tried to coerce the party into traveling to their frost giant master's lair to free some kids that the master had supposedly kidnapped as a means of retribution for the times the wolves had been beaten and battered. When met with skepticism, Corin stepped in, trying a more forceful tactic of trying to threaten the adventurers. Mordin drew his bow, ready for combat, but the wolves rounded off before he got a chance to flee, leaving them with the words, If you don't follow, it's only a matter of time before the children become dinner for Garagai. Sho Val, Mordin, and Tok and Dearaen felt it better to confirm with the townspeople of Dugan's Hole rather than take the wolves at their word. They make haste and find themselves in a small fishing town, and in search for the nearest tavern, they find the Metal Ice Tavern and Inn, and Torga Iceveins' caravan set up as a small merchant booth in a tent. In the ramshackle building that's more of a single room with a bar and open floor space rather than a typical tavern, an Aarakocran with the heritage of a snow owl by the name of Skrisha greeted them and went back and forth with the new arrivals, telling stories. During the conversation, Skrisha revealed that Hilda had indeed lost her children to the winter wolves that had been terrorizing the town, demanding food and gold, both of which the town didn't have. Upon mention of their master being Garagai, Skrisha was reminded of a different adventuring party that had come through and were making claims that they had slain the mighty frost giant. A quick scope of Torga's encampment revealed that her caravan was planning on being in town for another 4 to 5 days. So our adventurers then find Hilda and tell her that they plan to save her kids and meet a hunter by the name of Jarrett to guide them to the frost giant's lodge. Kibbles is put under the care of Hilda so she can have some small semblance of stress relief and for the fox's protection while the party is away. On the road to Gargai's lair, the party is attacked by a pack of gaunt, starting wolves, which they clear through with ease. Jarrett then points out the lodge in the distance, and he says he'll stay behind and let the party investigate. 3 large archways greet them at the entrance of the building, and they decide to go right and are met with the rotting carcass of a whale and a half-buried chest of carving tools. A failed stealth check as they move into a war room with a giant-sized table and chairs awakens the largest denizen of the lodge, a ginormous mammoth which howls in rage at the sight of humanoid adventurers. But a quick alliance with some kobolds, Holgi, Snorp, and Zilbo, that were hiding in the war room gave the party a much-needed numbers advantage, and the fight was on.
Those are amazing names.
Yep. The mammoth, fuming in a rage, bellows about how the adventurers had killed his master, which Dearaen attempted to rectify unsuccessfully.
A 20 and a 1, god damn it.
Combat ensued, and the legendary kobold Holgi, who apparently only rolls natural 20s, landed the finishing blow on the mammoth. Some investigating of the den later, and they come across Garagai's frozen and scavenged remains, and all the runic writing across the throne and tables, which Sho Val took interest in. Cilia and Finn were later found in a large metal cage in a different part of the lodge, and were retrieved. Kanan and Corrin surprised the party as they ventured outside with the kids, noting the wounds left by Norsu the mammoth. Mordin, not wanting to listen to what the wolves had to say, initiated combat by firing an arrow into Kanan's face. Combat ensued, and the wolves traded blows with the party, Mordin and Sho Val both being knocked unconscious. Jarrett jumped in at the last minute, drawing the attention from the rest of the party as Dearaen yelled back into the lodge, calling for the kobolds to help. Holgi scurries around the corner and lands a disadvantaged critical hit, knocking Corrin low. Kanan was killed and Corrin decided to flee, but Mordin managed to land a finishing arrow on the bounding wolf. Exhausted, beaten, and battered, the crew decide to spend the night in the safety of the cleared lodge, carving and skinning the mammoth and the winter wolves in the morning for furs and meat. They bid the kobolds goodbye and return to Dugan's Hole. Upon returning to Dugan's Hole, the party returns Celia and Finn to their mother, who weeps with relief and offers the group an old pair of magical boots as a token of thanks. Jarrett takes his leave back to his own home, offering Mordin some tutelage at a later time. The party then make for the tavern and find that Torga's crew, minus a certain Sefik Cultro, were enjoying themselves in the tavern with drinks. Dearaen buys a couple rounds of drinks to preoccupy their patronage, as the crew sneak out to find Sefik. A conversation with the local town guard, and they gain a pair of handcuffs and learn that Sefik had meandered towards the docks. Investigating the docks, a sailor tells them that Sefik had traveled westward. And a few survival checks later, Sho Val and Tok spot some tracks in the snow leading away from the docks and into a disused shed with a few crates.
At least it didn't fall off the dock like I did.
Mordin and Dearaen take the lead, placing themselves near a seemingly sleeping, motionless Sefik, only for him to suddenly open his eyes, going, "Can I help you?" The party confronts him about the various murders lately, and Sefik reveals that he indeed was the one to do so, under the control of the Frostmaiden. He was revived as an arbiter of Auril to bring consequences and retribution to those that meant to cheat the system of sacrifices to the Frostmaiden by a seemingly druidic person, also known to awaken various fauna within 10 towns. Dearaen and Mordin, visibly upset, drew their weapons, and Sefik summoned his own icy dagger and sword. The fight was on. Blows were traded, Mordin was knocked unconscious twice, and Sho Val landed a mighty swing with his shovel. Sefik, teleporting in gusts of condensation and frost around the battlefield, eventually needed to flee, but Dearaen managed to land the finishing blow with a crossbow bolt to the back of his knee, unrelenting in shooting bolts into the body of the now re-dead, Sefik Cultro. Dearaen, still coming to terms with the fact that an evil goddess had taken up residence nearby, was forcing the towns to make sacrifices to her of food, warmth, and even humanoids. And that is where we pick up.
Alright.
So, you are now outside in a small alleyway. The body of Sefik Cultro laying face first with crossbow bolts in his body.
Okay.
In the snow.
Then I would love... Oh, what? Who just joined? Oh.
I joined the regular game.
Okay, sorry. But yeah.
Okay.
I would... First, is there any, like, civilians or anything within range?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, one that might have seen it, and that's a 19.
You take a look around. Off in the distance, back by the docks, you do see some of the various fishermen, but they don't seem to be paying attention to you, and they're just kind of doing their thing with loading up the fishing boats and with nets of fish.
Okay, then a couple more things then. One, is Stefik's body bleeding at all?
Not
like that actually has blood coming out of him because he was undead technically.
It's not really blood.
I mean, kind of, but also not really. Okay. Bring back up the music, and... there is, like, it's kind of like a very dry blood, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like a human's kind of just pooling across the thing. It's just kind of like a small ooze, just where the bolts are sticking out of him.
Okay.
It's very concentrated old blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
I mean, it's still liquid and it's kind of slowly freezing over. You could you can make a medicine check for me, actually.
Oh, okay. Medicine. Oh, I only got +1 in that. 14?
With a 14, you can probably tell that because he wasn't dead, that he didn't exactly have a lot of body temperature and he wasn't circulating blood, so a lot of that kind of like normal pressure that you would get from somebody that is more used to bleeding would bleed a lot more than what he currently is.
So kind of like stagnant blood.
Yeah, kind of. And
Okay,
it kind of comes out very viscous and purple.
Alright. Then the last thing I wanted to do is loot the body.
Okay.
Anyone want to help me with that?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
Roll an investigation check to anybody that wants to loot the body.
See, that's why I asked if someone wanted to help. I got a 5.
I got a 15.
Okay. So,
Okay. Not bad.
Terrible.
Also, can I pull my bolts out of his body, see if there's any good ones left? Probably gonna need those.
Did you waste your entire quiver into this guy?
Yeah,
I
think
was
so.
angry.
No, you were pissed off.
Yeah.
okay.
You were seeing red.
As
I am
you rifle through his stuff, the sword and daggers slowly start to kind of like break apart and disappear. So you could probably guess that the weapons that he was using were made primarily of magic versus any actual weapon. As for what he has on him, he has a set of regular clothes. I can actually pull up a picture of what he looks like real quick. In terms of clothes, that's what he's wearing. He has a small gold pouch with 100 gold in it.
Okay, so 100 gold.
And that seems to be all that he's carrying.
We'll divide that up by 4.
Yeah. Wait, you said he had like a necklace on him or something?
No. He doesn't have any like jewelry or anything.
Okay, you said he didn't have any jewelry. Okay.
He did
sorry.
not. He doesn't have any jewelry. He just seems to have a pair of nice clothes that are now torn asunder with arrow holes.
Or what about his boots?
I mean, he's got a pair of boots.
Does
Can
he
I
got
roll
any,
something?
like, rations?
They don't seem particularly magical in any way that you could tell.
Oh, never mind. Really wouldn't have much of anything
Okay.
on him.
Yeah, he
Oh.
doesn't. He doesn't actually carry much. He's got a little bit of gold, but that's about it.
So split the gold and then turn in the bounty.
Yeah.
I just wonder if we're gonna get in trouble for this somehow.
We warned the guards that we were doing something.
Yeah.
So
We
Yeah,
did.
this guy is a known murderer, so, you know.
we have 4 witnesses saying that he admitted to it.
Is the ice sword still intact?
The ice sword has kind of broken apart as the life from Sefik has vanished.
Yeah, they were melting.
Well, I wouldn't say they're melting, but like as he collapsed, the sword's kind of like shattered. Like it, if that makes sense.
Kind of disintegrates if you pick it up.
Yeah.
It became
Got it.
Like it becomes as brittle as just like a icicle.
Okay. Okay, so 25 gold each.
Yep.
Yay, money.
Money, money, money.
Sho Val feels uneasy about
He's
this.
now dead. If anybody wants to, you can make an intelligence check for me.
Sure.
I don't think I should do that.
Oh, that's a 1.
A 4.
You're a little bit more preoccupied with stuff.
Recovering
I'm
from
just thinking about like,
knocked
oh,
out twice.
we told the guard that we were just going to arrest this guy. We asked for things.
Yeah.
And, oh.
Tok,
Oh,
you
what are we
do remember that Lynn had asked you to bring back a like a trophy or some kind of signature that you have actually defeated Sefik. So.
Question: that sword, does the hilt or handle or whatever it is that completely gone?
It's still there, but the blade is fractured.
A magical sword.
No, it's just the sword hilt he used to create Blade of Ice.
Yeah, I know the blade would have disintegrated, but like I could take the hilt or something and show that.
Nah, well, I mean, the blade and hilt was entirely made of ice.
Okay.
He is wearing a vest, a shirt, and a pair of like workers' pants.
Okay.
He also does have a pair of like dog tags on him. I will say that from the earlier investigation check.
Okay. Wondering what I could take.
Most obvious thing is the head.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, do I want to go macabre or not? I guess I'm going that way. Alright,
Do we have
does anyone have
a satchel? I think
a satchel, something like a decent sized bag?
headed.
Because I think carrying that around might make people a little, I don't know, unnerved.
Weary.
Yeah, weary.
I would say between the four of you, you would probably have an extra satchel or something. Or you could just take like a ration bag and kind of do like consolidate one of those into somebody else's pack and just have one person carry two-person set of rations and then use the other
I'll
bag
carry the
for
rations, you can carry the head.
Okay.
that kind of deal.
I hand over my rations to Mordin saying, please take good care of this. And I kind of cut off his head and stuff it in my backpack.
Shovel
Okay.
turns away and like, I don't like this. But I-
Shovel turns away so he can keep his dinner down.
Yeah.
The head actually tears off with ease a little bit better than you would probably imagine. As the kind of the as the death actually sets in, the skin kind of loses its the skin and muscle kind of loses its tenacity.
Vigor?
It's tautness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vigor?
It's all
You could probably guess that whatever magic that has been keeping him alive is losing its effectiveness.
I'll wipe off my dagger on his clothes. It's like, ew. That was nasty.
Shovel just, I'm never carrying that.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'd say we need to rest up before we head back to Goodmead.
dump the body into the water,
Yes.
or let the authorities know.
Well,
Burn
we
the
did.
body.
Do we want to take the time to cremate him?
I mean, I can do burn with bonfire.
Yeah, but people burning a body without the notice of authorities would probably be rather weird and frowned upon. You know?
I will
Have to do it in the
go.
open.
I'll get the nearest guard, or actually go try to find that guard that we talked to before. He's like, and I
Yeah,
try to
he's near
find
the
him.
entrance.
Okay.
You guys stay here with the body. Here's the bounty for to show people that it's all legit.
Okay.
Shovel feels very uneasy about this.
I'm just gonna go over to Sho Val and just say, like, hey, we're giving the soul that this person used to have rest. It's best that we make sure that he's not brought back again by evil forces.
Or bring up the slate. One, the guards don't know that. We
One
have no
done.
proof that this guy was undead.
We showed them the bounty for this guy.
It was a warning, not a bounty.
But still, we took care of it. Do I find the guard?
And he has no weapons on him now that ice is gone. So it just looks like.
I mean,
he
they're
killed
still
the guy.
the weapons are still there. They're just broken.
No.
Yeah, and
It's kind of like
they walk through.
it's one like you take an icicle and you kind of like drop it on the ground. Like the shards of the icicle are still there, but it's just shattered.
yeah. Plus, they could just look at the damage that was sustained to us. There's probably still some residual, like ice or something around our wounds, maybe.
Okay, so do I find the guard?
You indeed do find the guard. I will move us back over to there. Back in the town square, Mordin finds the guard. Kind of looking you up and down. He goes, "Oh yeah, you're right."
We found our target, but he did not come quietly. And I figured I'd come and get a couple of the guards to help us out. He's down. He's dead. But we thought we'd inform the guard as soon as possible.
Well, you can see him just kind of like one of those just like weird, like just kind of like trying to process things really fast and being like kind of confused. And he, right, okay, and he kind of waves over to one of the other guys. Go get the town speaker, and we will be. I will go with you. Actually, stay here. Wait until we get the town speaker, and then we will come with you.
Sounds like a plan. Do you mind if I sit down? It was a rough fight. And I just sit down right there on the ground.
Yeah, and he's just kind of sitting there, just like watching you just kind of like tentatively, because like, oh hey, this guy just kind of walked up to me and just admitted to murder.
I'm also, I'm nursing slash wounds.
I mean, no, I get that.
Kind of iced over.
I get that. It's just kind of one of those like.
Do you want me to roll a performance check on that one?
I would say persuasion.
Ooh, that's even better. 17.
Okay.
I know
He
7 at my persuasion.
he just seems he's just being very cautious about things right now. And
Which is understandable.
it's one of those kind of like he wasn't exactly really prepared for
Death.
apparently the events of today. And eventually to the guard NPC either human soldier comes back with you with a kind of trapper-looking humanoid woman. She comes up and speaks to you, going, "So, what's this about again?"
As she approaches, I stand back up. I pull out another one of the flyers of the warning.
Okay.
And I show her just in case if she hasn't seen the flyer yet, which I don't know if it was circulated throughout the entirety of the realm.
For them out in this area, this is kind of like the boonies. Probably not as much, but back towards like Goodmead and Brinchander, it was a little bit more commonplace. You could probably imagine that it was even in like East Haven and stuff too.
It was probably on its way here. Eventually.
There might have been like one or two at least.
So I pull out I hand it to her. We were tracking this man and we tracked him here. We were hoping to apprehend him quietly so he could be questioned. He did not come quietly.
Okay. Shall
down by the docks.
Okay. Let's all go together, shall we?
Oh,
At least so we can
I
assess the situation.
I turn back to the other guard that helped us out in the first place, and I hand him back his shackles. Like, you can have these back.
Right. And the townspeaker kind of like shoots a little like kind of side-eyed to him.
Oops.
They just kind of the why would you do this? And he just kind of kind of hangs his head in shame a little bit. And then she goes off to the docks then, and starts walking towards the docks.
Yeah. Quick question.
Anyways, as he's doing that, back to you guys.
Yeah. Quick question though. First.
What's up?
Is the stream supposed to have the main goings-ons down below like that? No, the roles I already knew about.
Yeah, it's down there because we're not in combat or anything. What
I did was I did a couple different things. So like when we're doing combat or whatever, I have a bigger screen like this. When we're doing just kind of more roleplay bits, I figured I'd have a bigger screen with more of the art, and then I have a main screen for whenever I want to show art and stuff, such as a giant kibbles.
Kibbles!
Kibbles!
Okay.
It's too adorable.
Sorry. Having someone trip over the power cord to my router kind of threw me off. Okay.
Yeah, that would do it. I would imagine. So anyways, back to you guys as you're sitting there waiting for Mordin to get in contact with a guard. What do you plan on doing?
Well, we kind of already said that we were going to start cremating the body when officials got here, so...
So you're just
I'm kind of just sitting over a bit farther away, just kind of sitting.
You're just... Okay.
Like, contemplating what's gonna happen. Like,
are you in the thinker pose?
I am. Just not with the hand on the chin, just kind of like almost knees to chest, but not quite.
Rocking back and forth?
Almost. I'm like halfway there.
You're a little bit traumatized.
Yeah,
Slightly, because it's like we're in a town and we just killed a guy with no real proof that he's the bad guy.
Like you were just like one step away from having an existential crisis.
A bit, yeah.
Okay. Like, just gonna go over to Sho Val and just remember, he technically attacked first. We were defending ourselves. We tried to settle things peacefully. Now, let's see, something I can do.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't really much I could say in this kind of thing. What the fuck?
I'm just gonna... Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay,
Oh wait, here's something. I'm going to use prestidigitation just to warm Sho Val up a little bit, just to comfort him a bit. Because I can chill, warm, or flavor up to 1 cubic foot of non-living material for 1 hour. See if that makes him feel
So do you want to,
better.
like, heat up his breastplate or something?
Yeah, just kind
Or,
of
like, his chain?
warm him up a bit, because, again, it's snowy, it's cold, and usually warmth tends to comfort people.
Okay, so... Sho Val, you see Dearaen kind of mutter a few words and wave his hand, and some magic energy kind of like sparks from his hands, and you suddenly kind of feel your like tabard and clothing around your chest kind of warm up to a more comfortable degree than it's been in a very long time.
Just like almost seat warmer, but like
Yeah, kind of.
chest.
It's like a seat warmer, but just around your chest.
I give a quick shiver because it's
The sudden temperature change was like a little weird.
Yep.
It's not like hot. It's just kind of like one of those like 60 degrees Fahrenheit kind of deals. Like
right. Definitely warmer than the outside, but
yeah.
not enough to like actually. But yeah. I look over and I give him a nod, and I kind of.
Yeah.
Want to mute yourself real quick, guys? Since you want to talk.
Go to push to talk, please. Okay, we're good.
I'll say probably about 20-30 minutes pass by, and Mordin and the townspeople eventually make their way around the corner, coming in via the dockway, along with a couple guards.
Okay, I got all my bolts out of the body, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say by this time you've cleaned up all of the...
All the things.
All the things, yeah. And eventually you do make your way over, and The town speaker, seeing the three of you around the now beheaded body of Sefik Cultro, she kind of just like, does the like whole like shock and surprise gasp, just kind of like one of those. Ah!
The Mickey Mouse thing. What happened?
Yeah, I guess. And
I'm
she
sorry.
just kind of like starts averting her gaze, going, hello, I am Edgra Dermot. I am the town speaker, as it were, and your companion here has brought in the town's guard and me to talk about that.
Yes, we were investigating a series of just a murder or two caused by what we were told was someone wielding an ice knife of some sort, which, as you can see, he was wielding as they're kind of breaking apart there. But
you point over to the body, and again there are the kind of broken shards of the sword and dagger.
yes,
And she does take a quick glance and notices it and looks back up towards you.
yeah, yes. We try to settle matters peacefully, but he was not having any of it, and we quickly found out that he was actually undead. Because if you look at the body again, I know it's kind of hard,
Make a persuasion check on this one.
just for her to look at the body, because it's
Yeah,
gross.
yeah. You can tell
I rolled a 9, but I have +7, so that's 16.
She uncomfortably, very visibly, looks over.
Yeah, as you can see, they're not bleeding normally. They were under the command of something.
Right, well, no use in that. No, would you mind, covering that in snow or something?
We were actually planning on cremating the body, so that way the soul can finally have rest. We just needed a town official permission, because that would seem rather weird.
She's just like, that's fine, whatever. We can take matters into that after the fact.
Okay, Sho Val, do you want to kind of hide it a little bit, please?
Yeah, I go up and I kind of set the entire thing ablaze.
That's not what. Okay.
What? What?
They asked us to cover it in snow, but okay. I'm just gonna be like, okay, I as long as we have your permission, that's all we need. You're free to go. Go now.
I have to keep.
I'm just kind of shielding her away from the site with my coat, just like you don't need to see more. Okay, come on, keep going.
She's I'm going to have the gods stay here, and once you are done with that, bring them to my quarters. She just kind of looks at the guards, and we will discuss We will discuss events later.
That's fine. I figure you don't really want to
I'd
see this
rather-
after.
Yeah. And she just kind of like walks away for a little bit.
Is she holding her stomach like, oh god, I'm gonna throw up?
I wouldn't say that so much. She's just very,
Just say like, what the fuck have I seen today?
it's just kind of one of those like very like shocky moments that people don't expect to see.
Fair enough.
So, I will say, you take like 20, 30 minutes, just kind of casting and recasting, create bonfire on Cephik,
And while everything's going on, I'm just kind of readjusting my lute because of the cold,
right.
and just kind of playing a little bit of a melody just to help the soul go to the soul find peace kind of thing.
Make a
Performance?
check if you would like.
Dirty 20.
Nice. You're still kind of shivering and whatever. Managed to play a small, nice, kind of like somber tune that seems to be a bit more penitent or more akin to that of what you've heard from various clergies in your travels. Something very slow and somber, and just kind of like a you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, and eventually the body is burned away. There's just a small pile of ash left, and the guards come over and start kicking some snow onto it, going, better bundle up. The sacrifice of warmth begins in a few hours.
Sacrifice?
Unfortunately, tonight's one of those nights where we have to get rid of any and all fire, warmth, whatever. If you don't, there'll be large consequences.
I quickly put my hands behind my back.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything on that one because I know we just killed the guy. We might get in more trouble if we mentioned it. Okay.
And they'll lead you back to the person's home.
Edgar?
Edgar. They will lead you back to Edgar's home. So, as you make your way into...
They typed in chat, we go along quietly.
Okay. That's fair.
If there's no background noise, you guys cannot unmute yourselves.
Well, that's part of the problem, is that sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. It's kind of intermittent.
Okay,
I get that.
Okay.
There's only so much you can do.
Yeah. So, when you can. That's fine.
Okay.
you make your way to Edra's little abode. Oh, there she is. And she greets you, kind of sitting behind a desk with some kind of papers and stuff. The two guards kind of usher you in, standing by the door, and she's standing before you, saying, "All right, please explain to me everything that has been going on."
I go, do we start with the wolves?
No, we start with why we were here in the first place. Let's see. There was a glassblower over in Goodmead, was it?
No,
Brinchander.
Brinchander.
There was a glassblower over in Brinchander that had been murdered. And we talked to the widow, and she said that he had been. Wait, was it the widow or or was it the ex-bounty hunter? And someone had said that they were had been murdered with by magical means of an ice
So the way it played out was there was a little bit of rumor around Brinchander that, or like, there have been a few murders previously with all containing the ice knife, and it was a somewhat known thing, but it wasn't prevalent in Brinchander until the night that you guys had returned, and there was kind of that rumor mill engine going around that, oh hey, somebody's been murdered here. The kind of like that, oh no, the serial killer is here kind of deal. I wonder who's next. And then talking with Hlyn at the tavern, you had discovered who was murdered and her ideas of who that person and who the serial murderer is.
Okay.
You had went to talk with the now widow of the glassblower, and had gotten a little bit of information about how her husband had been killed, and you had went off and
in search of him.
yeah.
Yeah. For the sake of brevity, can I just say that?
Yeah.
See, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Upon our arriving near the town, we were met by the winter wolves that were owned by the frost giant, which, according to your bartender.
Ah, yes, Risha.
Yeah, he
gets a lot of tales around.
Yeah, according to him, the frost giant was already slain, but the winter wolves had asked us to take care of something about Gata guy, the frost giant. And let's
Yes,
see.
the occasional traveler have come through here, and I believe that was the case a while back.
Well, it turned out to be true. He was dead, but the winter wolves were still at large. But that's besides the point at the moment where you were asking about the recent events. We had found the person matching the description to be in the company of your traveling merchant, who are currently in the tavern, but I don't think that they were involved or anything. I don't think they had any idea who he was. Otherwise, they'd be with him, and he wouldn't be alone.
It's possible, or maybe it's not.
Well, they're currently getting very drunk, so I don't think that's. So I don't think they were involved at all.
Okay.
When we had confronted him, which, by the way, we did ask one of the guard. We did get a little bit of help from one of the guards, and they did give us a set of manacles so that way we could possibly keep things peaceful. We had gone over. We had tried to talk him out, but he was being rather difficult, to the point where he was about to attack, and we readied ourselves. He had nearly killed one of our own as well.
She's kind of looking you guys up and down, just trying to read the emotions on you guys.
As you can see, look, and I point to Mordin, who is the most cut up out of everyone. He fought rather hard. He knew he was in trouble.
He knew he was caught, and he did admit to the crimes.
Exactly.
We did honestly try to resolve things peacefully, but he did not want to come quietly.
No, he didn't.
I suppose what's done is done.
We're sorry for any inconvenience we might have troubled you with all this. I know this was rather sudden.
She's just kind of sitting there, just kind of cut her fingers in front of her face, kind of like pondering what to do. And she'll go, suppose that's all that we can do for now. Moving on from here. As the town speaker, I can't say that I'm very fond of people going around slaying each other on a whim, but given the circumstances, it was probably a good thing that you had managed to encounter this individual at the time that you did, and managed to remedy the situation.
We didn't really want any collateral damage. That's why we also warned the guards beforehand that we didn't want you to bring your townsfolk into this.
Understandably so. That being said, I think I will have to have you pay a small fine. Probably just for the ease of the town.
Sounds fair.
And then I will throw the rest of the water under the bridge, as it were.
May I ask how much?
think a fair total of 25 gold apiece.
Knew it.
Damn it.
Called it.
Oh.
Okay, removing the 25 gold I just got.
Man, I just got this money. Come on.
Okay. I like just like look at my coin bag, just like coin purse. It's like, okay, fair enough. Drop the 25.
Another stack of 25 is on her desk.
Okay. And so each of you pay up your toll, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And she kind of waves you out towards the door. You may leave. Enjoy whatever time you spend left in Dukin's Hole.
I put up the thing. We won't stay long. Now that we know things have become uneasy.
She nods and goes, just please don't try to create any more disturbances.
That will not be our intention. It will be our. We will do.
Not be caused by us.
We will do our best.
She'll kind of nod and make sure to huddle up tonight now. It's gonna be a cold one.
Will
And
do.
the guards kind of open up the doors and you are escorted out of the building. You are now free to do as you please.
As soon as
tonight.
we're out of earshots of the building and the guards, I'm like, son of a bitch! You just got that.
And I put up, maybe we should try and ask to stay with our the dwarf guy, what's his name?
Jarrett?
Jarrett, for the night instead of.
Jarrett was a human, wasn't he?
I thought it was a dwarf.
Jarrett was a human-sized, like, dwarven looking.
Oh, yeah, he had a dwarven look. Okay.
Okay.
Very short.
Stay with Jarrett instead of trying
It
to.
was like if you take the in-between of a dwarf and a human and put it together, that's what Jarrett is.
He's a half dwarf.
He's a half dwarf.
That dude.
It is canon. Okay.
I don't really know how it works, but that's what he is.
I mean,
Carefully.
If half elves work, why not half dwarves?
yeah.
He's just
Human-
really furry for a human.
No, human-sized dwarven stock.
You're in a corgi. You gotta do it carefully.
Anyway, I put up. Maybe we should try and stay with Jarrett instead of staying in the inn with the rest of the people that were acquaintances with Seven.
I agree.
Maybe he will let us stay with him if we let him keep the mammoth pelt.
I had a little bit of a plan with some of that pelt. We can give him some of it.
Well, just the mammoth pelt, not the wolf.
I was planning on using a combination of both. But yeah. But we do need to figure out how to preserve some of this, because I don't think the wolf. If we take the wolf pelt to a tanner, it'll lose some of the ice effect to it.
No. One thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, we can ask at some point.
Let's just find a place to stay.
Yeah, let's go talk to Jarrett.
So you guys are going to Jarrett.
Yeah.
We went to Jarrett.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That was the joke that I was making, by the way.
I know. I just went with it.
You're not sorry. You love it.
Of course she does.
Everyone's ankles that made a joke.
Yay!
Ow! Kibbles! I got kibbles.
Oh, fuck.
Nah.
Of course she loved it. Of course she loved it. We went to Jarrett.
Kibbles
Those buns
is
both
kind
ran.
of just kind of like
He already pissed on my shoe.
Kibbles is kind of wrapping himself around Tok at the moment, like Tok's neck, standing on his shoulders.
Hey, Kibble. How you doing?
I
Really thought the joke was funny too. You're gonna need to work on your sense of humor, Kibbles.
Adorable. I'm gonna knock on the Jared's door.
Okay.
Or if he's not out outside already, because I see his model. Okay.
Oh, he's inside. I just don't have the.
Interior.
I
Yeah.
don't have interior. He's in his house, eh?
Okay.
He was a nameless NPC that became nameless and a friend.
Named.
Yeah.
You knock on his door. You hear a voice going, "Hey, going out." Oh, hey! What you? The door opens, going,
Hey.
"Hey, you're
Let's
back
see.
here early or late?" Anyways, what can I do for you?
Well, we had we finished our business here in town, and we were looking for a place to stay because what we don't trust some of the merchants that are in the tavern. Sorry, the inn.
It's. I know. I'm pretty sure the tavern's gonna be a little bit full tonight, anyways.
So we figured we can, if you let us stay for the night, we'll give you a bit of the mammoth belt. Give you a cut of it.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say we were hoping, yeah.
With advantage, just because.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Let me roll again, because that was a 24.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got
Well,
a plus
the
7. I got a plus 7 in persuasion now. By the way.
Nice. With the 24, yeah, you do. He goes, "Hey, mammoth belt, eh? It's probably make a nice blanket for tonight.
Yeah.
Come on in, come on in."
We'll give you a few pounds.
And he ushers you inside. He's got kind of a more. Again, everything's a little bit kind of like ramshackly. There's like a small table and a couple of chairs. There's a small hearth, but it is completely dark and unused at the moment.
Yeah, because of the sacrifice thing.
Yeah. Sorry, gonna be a little bit warmer, but you know how things are.
We
Yeah.
just wanted a roof. We heard about the cold night or whatever the heck you guys call it.
Once a month we sacrifice our warmth to the Frostmaiden. There's not much that we can give otherwise. Food's been scarce, and we don't exactly have the means of doing larger sacrifices.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Anyways. Yeah, he introduces you to his wife and his daughter.
Boundary. Don't
It's
go after
probably a little girl. I'm not going to do that. And there's a married woman. I have standards. Thank you very much.
a bard with standards.
Oh, sure.
I pat him on the back.
He kind of like does one of those like, kind of like nudge into you. She is quite a beaut, isn't she?
Oh, you're really tempting the page, Jerry.
Get X. Yeah.
And then he kind of pulls out a look dagger. If you touch her.
Oh yeah, no, I completely understand. I'm not going to.
I'm liking Jerry.
I am not being typical horny bard. I am horny, but not that much. Jeez.
I find a small area on the ground, like away from everybody else, kind of, and started tuning myself to these boots.
Yeah. His wife is Latha.
Lava.
Latheh.
Wait.
And his daughter is Tennin. Tennin.
So allies, adding.
Wait, okay, wife is what again?
Latha? Or
Latha.
Latha? Latheh?
Okay, and the daughter was.
And the daughter's name is Tennin. Tennin.
And daughter's like.
I would say like kind of like
Late teens.
I would say like early teens, like kind of like the like 10 to 12 ish area.
That's pretty teen, yeah.
Yeah, preteens.
Okay.
No, she's young.
Yeah.
And they all have the kind of like human look. Tennin's eyebrows are really bushy. But
After meeting him, I give him a quick bow.
Yeah. It's like, lovely to meet all of you. Yes. Yep. And I go over to his wife and say, your husband is a fantastic marksman. Yeah, she saved our hides quite a number of times.
yes, he is, isn't he? He's a very accomplished hunter, and I'm glad to have become his wife.
You're both very lucky to have each other.
She kind of has some like a kind of like a hand bread kind of thing that she kind of like sets out on the table, going, here's a little food. If it's kind of like a no rise bread, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not bread.
Yeah, it's bread, but it's not bread.
I reach into my satchel and from my food stores, take out dried meats and stuff like that, set them out on the table as well. Yeah.
I tell Mordin, if you need to, take some of mine as well.
I put in some of yours as well. It just will contribute to the food.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Hang on, give me a moment. I'll be right back. I'm going to walk over. I'm gonna exit and walk over to the tavern.
Okay.
But I'm also going to use disguise self, so that way the other Torga doesn't recognize it.
Okay. What do you want to disguise yourself as?
Okay, I'm going to be kind of a thin, lanky kind of guy. With the hair is going to be about as long, but just like a straight up brown.
Okay.
Long green tunic, baggy brown pants, and human, by the way.
Okay.
With just a little bit of scruff on the chin.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go over to Squishera
Sure.
and go, like, how much for a bottle of booze?
God damn it.
You just broke Alex.
I was planning on doing this the entire fucking game.
Don't worry, I'll get him back when he plays my game.
God damn. I just wasn't expecting that. Okay. Squisher goes, hello, traveler. A couple bottles of booze, you say?
Yeah, just like a couple bottles of common wine. Oh shit, I need to work on my actual wording on this shit. Okay.
Yeah, if you plan on doing that twice for my campaign, yeah.
I was gonna do one similar to it, not the entire damn thing.
Fair enough.
For a couple bottles, though we do only have meads at the moment.
That's good.
That'll be... a little math in my head. 1 gold and 5 silver.
For both of them.
Yeah, that's for all the booze that you want to buy. I would assume that's a couple bottles.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's cheap. It's not great,
So if I add,
but
like,
I mean, it's the specialty from Good Mead, but that's about it.
and how much for like 3 bottles?
3 bottles, I'd say 2 gold or 2 gold and 2 silver.
You gotta drop down the 2 gold, 2 silver
Sure.
for three bottles. 3 bottles.
Oh, Trevor, here you go. Was there anything else I can do for you?
No, thank you for your patronage. Like, see you later.
Okay, that is a mix between Scooby-Doo and Shaggy.
I know. I'm not used to like. I'm not used to like actually going through with a bunch of different sentences with that one. It's just more like, how's it going, man?
Oh my god, I'm dying. Stop!
I'm gonna walk back and make sure no one sees me, and then drop the guys, and then walk back into Jared's house.
Okay.
Jeepers Scoobs!
Like silly Scoob.
Okay. You return with a few bottles of booze.
The DM will remember that.
You're gonna get disadvantage on your next roll, is what you're gonna get.
I was at disadvantage from now on.
1d8 psychic damage.
I'll take the psychic damage. I'll do that.
No, that disadvantage is more fun. It makes things more fun.
Okay, in the next roll I get disadvantage. Okay, just be sure to remind me.
You're cursed again.
No. I will go right back to that Rhodesian cave. I will go right back.
So you make your way back. Jared's family greets you. You can spend some time chatting and whatever else.
Yeah, it's like, it's another way of saying thanks. I put the 3 bottles on the table. It's like, I'd say we have a nice drink tonight.
I should warm us up on the inside, though not technically warm.
Oh, I can.
You get what I mean.
Oh, you mean something like this, and I cast Prestidigitation on him for the warmth effect?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I get rid of it right away. It's just like,
Even with magical means, warmth is not to be...
I thought it was more of a case of you can't have like a coals or fire kind of thing. Well, okay, yeah, I understand.
I just don't trust it, personally.
Better safe than sorry. Got it.
Right. Yeah.
Cover thy ass.
I look back. He's like, yeah, let's
There are forces even beyond our means that can...
Wait a second. Mordin starts sniffing. Do I smell cinnamons?
What?
Are you making something out of cinnamon?
Oh, are you talking about like in real life?
Yes.
No,
No, in game.
in game.
I will have everybody roll me a perception check.
With disadvantage.
Devin with disadvantage.
Fair enough. It was a 5 out of 6.
Damn, 22.
Do I have to roll a perception check on myself?
Yes, you can roll a perception check on yourself.
A 9.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Oh, God.
Okay, so what do we got?
Um,
And then I'm going to use prestidigitation to make it smell like Kibble's pissed on his foot.
So I smell like fox piss and cinnamon.
Yes.
yeah. Tok, before the fox piss smell, you do notice that Mordin seems to be emanating a more cinnamony kind of smell.
And then get hit with the fox piss. Like, ah! Ah!
Mordin, that smells. Oh!
Kibbles!
Kibbles, come on.
Hey, how could Kibble pee on me when he's around your neck?
Magic.
It's a mark.
Green.
I can drink water and make it come out yellow.
Like, what?
I'm
It's
kidding.
like, I didn't do anything.
Nah, I'll save that one for later. Just remember, the revenge is best served cold.
I fell into the lake already, or ocean, whatever the fuck it is.
It's a small lake.
I
Or
already
like a-
fell into the lake. I already experienced the cold. You're too late on that part.
Not my fault. I helped you out of that thing.
Yes, but you also had Kibble's piss on my boot.
And you falling into the lake cleaned it.
You still owe me a new pair of boots.
Now that I'm attuned to the new boots, I take off my old boots and throw them at him.
You do realize I said new, right?
They're new to you.
No, not really, because I saw you wearing them.
They're new to you.
Deception check.
Persuasion. 11. Fuck.
In which case, I would do an insight check and be like, 16.
Yeah.
And I just look at you like, you're not fooling me. Anyway, let's just enjoy the drinks.
And I'm just kind of sitting off to the side, chuckling at the two of them being knuckleheads.
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them.
That's what happens when you get 2 tieflings in the same group.
It really is.
So you spend the rest of the night kind of maybe telling stories, joking around a little bit. Jarrett kind of tells you of a couple of the hunts that he's done.
I'm sure none of them are quite as interesting as the latest one.
I would say you guys probably even recount the recent events to his wife, and Tenon is just kind of sitting there just with awe, just eating up every word.
I tell them of my huge battle against the goblins and killing the leader with an arrow through her forehead.
And I'm just staring daggers at him.
And you have some food, and you kind of huddle up close together once the kind of like the that little midnight cold kind of really sets in, and eventually you fall asleep. You wake up, and you get a long rest. You kind of wake up in the morning, but it's still dark. There's a kind of like soft, like greenish glow across the sky. And you have made it another day. Is there anything you want to do today?
Yeah, before we head out, we're going to talk to Jarrett and say, hey, do you know of a tanner that works with mystical beast hide?
Magical pelts.
Yeah.
Around here? Probably not in Dugan's Hole.
Yeah, I was talking more in general, like what kind of stuff.
I would think somebody in Grimshander could probably handle it.
I would say Bryn Shadow would probably be one of your best bets, though there might be somebody over in East Haven, I believe. East Haven's pretty big.
Which one's closer?
Bryn Shander is closest to you guys.
Oh, we probably have to go back to Bryn Shander to
I can pull up a map here really quick for you guys.
It's alright. We probably have to go back to Bryn Shander to report what's been going on. So
We gotta tell whoever wanted to know about Bits. Remember Bits? The little
yeah. Bits. We already took care of the dog tags and bring closure to the widow.
I kind of don't want to broadcast that we have a person's head in a bag.
Oh, I didn't say anything about that.
No,
I carefully tucked that behind me, like real
it's
nonchalant.
like, yeah, we gotta take care of that other thing.
Out of character, we really need a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get right on that.
Those are expensive, though. But anyway, going back. I guess we'll be making our way back to Bryn Shander then. Thank you for your hospitality, and
We also have to stop in Goodmead to see if they want to vote for the council.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wait. Before we do that, how much mammoth pelt are we giving him?
Half of it.
Half of it. Who's got the mammoth pelt?
You.
Not me. I've got the wolf pelts.
I didn't have my inventory, but sure,
I got the mammoth pelt.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
was gonna say, Sho Val grabbed the mammoth
Yeah.
belt.
That was gonna be my guess.
So
How much?
It's 17 pounds, so.
Yeah.
Give
Give him
him.
the better half.
Yeah, so.
And
So-
you guys had probably used some of the mammoth pelt to actually sleep under just for warmth.
Yeah, we'll say we divided it up and then give it to
Yeah.
So we got about 8 pounds left then, maybe.
yeah, that should be enough. That should be enough for us.
Yeah, you could probably get some nice leather or something out of it.
Yeah.
Jared goes, well, it's been a well, it's been a pleasure.
Scared the shit out of Carly.
Anyways, if you're ever in town again, hit me up.
Yeah.
I'll be happy
Sure
to go
thing.
hunting with you again.
Of course, I that.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Might take you up on that. But for now, farewell. And then we make our way to
And
Channel.
a
Good beat first. I don't.
and a quick mode of. He kind of walks up to Mordin real quick. Also, make sure to watch the enemy's movements. It'll help you increase. It'll help you with your aim.
I give him a thankful nod, and you don't forget about the scroll. Sky's the limit.
He nods and kind of gives you a thankful look. And so, is there anything else you want to do in Dugan's Hole, or?
I think we're good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of start making your way out. It's kind of like early morning-ish area, and you kind of make your way through the town square, and a kind of like a half orc kind of steps out.
Homebound.
And it,
Wait, a half orc?
Yep. A half-orc kind of steps out and calls out, "Hey, Tok Wolfgang."
Yes.
Uh,
Do I
Sure.
recognize F-Orc?
Make a perception check, real quick.
Oh, character lore.
Dun, dun.
14?
Okay. You're a little bit like it's been a while, and then, but you kind of have that like faint ringing of a bell, and then as you kind of turn around and look at the half-orc's face a little bit clearer, you recognize this as Morg Jaeger, one of the lesser-known orcs from your tribe.
More.
Morg Jaeger.
Morgjaeger.
I'm just gonna spell it like Jaeger, just so.
Morg Jaeger.
More
Like Jaeger, as in like Aaron Jaeger kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just to remember it a bit easier.
Anyways, he goes, "Hey, I got a package for you. I thought I saw you earlier in the tavern, but I wasn't sure."
Did your mom send you cookies?
Package? Package of what? From who?
Say an old friend.
Is it a box? What's in the box?
And as he kind of hands it over, it's kind of like a small like envelope kind of package. Like it seems to be like a bunch of papers and stuff.
Something that would have like the wax seal or something on the back?
Yeah, kind of.
Gotcha.
Except it doesn't even have like so much like a seal. It's just kind of like wax kind of like smeared across it, which is
It's like they put the wax on, they just took their thumb and just going, "Bleh."
yep, kind of.
They're like, where's that seal? Ah, screw it. There we go.
There we go.
It's like, where's my letter opener? Ah, fuck it.
Well, I mean, orcs aren't exactly known for their tact in presentation.
No, not really. It's just kind of like, good enough.
It's one of those like, hey, it got to you. That's all that matters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I'm
You
just
can
gonna.
tell if it was opened or not. Here you go.
Okay.
And
Hey, at least the seal wasn't broken. That's pretty good mail security.
Dudes, so it brings you all the way up here. Kind of far away, don't you think?
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Joining these adventurers after I got expelled from the clan. I'm sure you heard about that.
I was there when it happened.
Yeah, pretty much everybody was.
Mordin is now listening intently.
Yeah. Wait, are they speaking Orcish?
Nah, they're in common at the moment.
Okay.
It's kind of like one of those like kind of like there's like a few words that are in orc, but
More just like,
it's mostly common.
so it's mostly just like slang.
Yeah.
That's used. Okay, got it.
Anyway, after getting expelled, I joined these, ran into these adventurers. This point to Mordin. I'm like, this is Mordin. There's Sho Val, Dearaen.
Dearaen, but yeah.
He kind of looks you up and down. Eventually kind of goes across the two and eventually comes to Sho Val. I like this one. Got some meat on his bones.
When he looks, as he's looked away, I'm gonna cast this guy's self to look like him.
He looks back and just kind of that like weird, just kind of like
Wait, and
they
I'm
kind of like double take and just like.
I'm gonna do the mirror trick too to him.
He's just like, wait a minute, weren't you skinny just a minute ago?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do the mirror trick.
You
thing as well.
found yourself in the You found yourself some tricksy fellows, eh? Haven't you?
Oh, I have.
And I drop it.
My new people always think we're weird, and I smack Dearaen up inside the head.
Can I make a dexterity save, see if I can dodge that?
Dodge. Here, I'll roll
22.
Never mind that.
You can make just a straight dex throw if you want, or just a straight dex check.
Well, I did the save, so if
I
you
accept that. I accept that. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just. This is why we can't have new friends.
I just got the biggest shit-eating grin on my face. It's like,
And I just facepalm like, for the love of God, guys. Anyway. Yeah, Furry got me expelled from the clan. He set me up good. He's slippery. I'll give him that. Anyway.
Aye. Not the ways of the orcs.
No.
but
I question if he really is an orc most of the time, honestly.
Has no pride. In any ways, my mission here is complete, but I'm probably gonna make my way back south. Get out of this cold weather.
Before you go, tell me, what's been going on in the old clan?
Lots of politics. It's not my... I left a few months ago.
politics in an orc clan? That's out of character, by the way.
I mean...
Or in my
I mean,
head.
in terms of, like, there's like politics across the, like, in any settlement. It's just like it just the stylization of it changes. You can roll a history check for me if you want, actually.
Sure. Am I still at disadvantage?
No.
22.
Okay.
Because I said
Devin.
Mordin, you actually are more read up on how orc civilization usually goes. It's more they're more of a kind of like a strength of combat equals strength of leadership kind of deal.
Gotcha.
It's one of those like, hey, we're like whoever's the strongest. Things are decided through like combat or just like kind of like, and like, but it's a very like honorable kind of deal for them.
Or it should be.
Or
if
it
you
should be.
have any disputes, you challenge the other orc
Yeah.
and you duke it out. And whoever wins, that settles it.
Trial by combat.
Trial by
Exactly.
combat. And even to Dearaen, you kind of get a hint of that, but you're kind of like a little fuzzy on the details.
I never traveled past many orc tribes.
You haven't had many personal experiences, which is where you get most of your knowledge from. So
Or
Remember, there's chieftains, and pretty
Yeah.
much everybody wants to be the chieftain, but not everybody can be the chieftain.
gotcha.
in any case, Morg kind of goes, there's just been a lot of infighting last I left. Last I knew.
Not surprised. I
You
bet
know how
that
it is.
I bet that weasel is probably at the center of it, as usual.
So who's the letter from?
It's none of your business.
Yeah, I just kind of get
General question. I wasn't going to ask what it was on it. Jeez.
Nosy.
just a little bit nosy.
Okay.
Anyway,
I just kind of do the.
Yeah. He, Morg kind of just like shoulders up a great sword and a few bags. Well, now that my job's done, time to get out of this frozen in hell.
Stay warm.
Thank you, Morg. Take care of yourself.
May our enemies fall in glorious battle talk.
May death come quickly to your enemies as well.
He kind of like gives you like a fist pound kind of thing.
Fist bump.
Yep. And eventually kind of walks away.
I just look over the envelope. I'm like, this is curious.
Do you want to open it up?
Should I open up, or do we want to get going? Because if so, I could just tuck it away for later.
We could read it on the road. You could read it on the road.
Let's get on the road and.
Yeah, I'll put it in my backpack for right now.
Okay.
Out of character, not gonna lie, if he really was gonna start insulting Sho Val for his height, I would have gone big.
No, he was actually kind of impressed with you. You got some muscle on you, and between Dearaen and Mordin, he was a little bit less impressed. But then again, it's kind of one of those like,
I'm +1 in strength. I'm a toughie.
Of course you are, Dearaen. Nobody suspects otherwise.
Pat on his head, something flying into the snowbank.
No, it just scrunches him up like an accordion.
I don't have a negative stat at all. So.
well, I mean, it's one of those like, the two of you put on more of a lither frame in comparison to Tok and Mordin, or not Mordin, Tok and Sho Val.
I know. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
know, and I was expecting like big half orcs to be concerned about height, and Sho Val is like 5'2", or like 5 foot nothing. So
Yeah.
then
Anyway.
He's a bit. Well, I mean, they have a little bit more of a beef with like dwarves and stuff, but you're not like dwarven sized.
Oh,
Because dwarves are a little bit shorter than even you.
you probably cast like a squinty eyes over at Jared if you saw him then. Just for the look. But anyway, we should probably get going.
Okay. And as you make your way off into the forest, back north.
Do we see quick thing? Do we see Torga? Keep forgetting if there's an A at the end of that.
Torga's.
Do we see their caravan at all? Like,
they seem to be
hungover as fuck.
They seem to be around their caravan at the moment, kind of packing some stuff up and kind of like shimmying around, doing any like last minute sales with whoever decides to buy something.
So business as usual. They didn't even notice.
It's kind of more like business as usual, even though it seems like some of them are doing a little bit more work because somebody's missing.
Got it. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. Okay. And as you make your way off into the northwest, back towards Goodmead, I think that is where we are going to end for tonight.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
And we will catch you all next time in the frozen north of the Forgotten Realms, with Icewind Dale and the Rime of the
And this
Frostmaiden.
time with actual audio because.
And this time with actual audio! Yay!
Hey.
Friggin' hell! It's not happening again!
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye!
Toodles.